I cannot believe this. This cannot be happening. We have a devastating update. Rookie Ariel Hukporti has suffered a torn meniscus, and because of this, he is going to be out significant time. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. But before we get started, about 54% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. We are on a mission to try to reach 50,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. Devastating injury update on Ariel Hukporti. The worst thing that can happen to the Knicks right now are injuries piling up during this stretch of the season, especially to our centers. The Knicks are limited with the centers that we have on this team. We do not have the luxury, if somebody goes down, to go to our bench and add another center to the rotation. Karl Anthony Towns is currently dealing with a left knee injury. And now, the rookie that was stepping in for him is dealing with a devastating injury. Shout out to Shams of ESPN for giving us the following information. According to him, New York Knicks center Ariel Hukporti has suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, according to sources. Hukporti sustained the injury in his first start Wednesday night, which he posted 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. This is an absolutely devastating injury update for rookie Ariel Hukporti, who suffered this injury during his first start of his NBA career. And according to NBA insider Ian Bagley, he confirmed Shams' report, but he also gives us an update on the Knicks' plans in this situation now that Hukporti has gone down. According to Bagley, he confirms that Ariel Hukporti will miss several weeks due to this knee injury that he suffered last night against the Philadelphia 76ers. Tough news for the rookie center. But Bagley also states that the Knicks' plans to address this situation is to add veteran center Mitchell Robinson back to the rotation this weekend. And multiple NBA insiders have confirmed that Robinson will either make his return this Friday against the Memphis Grizzlies or on Sunday against the Miami Heat. And it's clear the Knicks need him back as soon as possible. What a devastating update for Hukporti. He's recently gotten a lot more time with this team, not only because of injuries, but also because he's been getting better as a player, becoming a better defender, becoming a better shot blocker, a better rebounder. Everything he does on the court, when he gets more time, when he plays from game to game, it gets better. He looks better. He starts to learn more, understand more about the NBA level, when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, and how to use his physicality. Mind you, that's his biggest issue right now, understanding how to use that physicality at the NBA level so he does not get into early foul trouble. And I thought he was starting to learn that as he got consistent minutes under Tom Thibodeau. But now we'll never know how it looks like for this season because it sounds like he could miss the rest of the regular season. Remember, he's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, and that's not including evaluation, rehab time, trying to get back, being cleared by medical. All of that takes additional time. So we have no idea when Hukporti is going to return to this team. Could it be in the regular season? Could it be in the postseason? Could it be next season? We don't know. But this is devastating for him because he was finally starting to earn time in the rotation, and he was doing a great job in the time that he got. He was very impressive. Now, going back to Hukporti's injury specifically, I want to talk about Tom Thibodeau. I don't blame Tom Thibodeau 100% for this injury because I understand that's the nature of the game. Sometimes injuries are going to happen. Mind you, he only played 16 minutes last night as well too, so it can't be the minutes. However, here is where I do blame Tom Thibodeau. Similarly, I blamed him for Karl Anthony Towns for the exact same reason. Karl Anthony Towns exited that Boston game injured, and then Tom Thibodeau, in a blowout, put him back into the game. With Ariel Hukporti, he went down in that third quarter with an injury. Why would you put him back into the game in the fourth quarter when he was clearly injured? He was in that game for a minute and a half before he had to be pulled out of the game, go back to the locker room, and now we know why he couldn't come back. He couldn't come back, according to Shams, because he suffered a torn meniscus in that left knee. What a devastating update. You don't want to see any big man, any Knicks center have to go through this type of injury. But now, that's exactly what we're dealing with. And talk about their plans for this situation, how they plan to address this matter. By having Mitchell Robinson return this weekend, come back to this team, and be that center that we need. That's great and all, but let me ask you something. If Karl-Anthony Towns isn't available and Hukporti isn't available, then you're telling me we're only going to have Mitchell Robinson at center and then maybe Preston Achiuwa? Nobody else? That does not give me any confidence. If anything, that makes me extremely worried and very concerned about the future. Because if any one of those guys goes down with an injury, or with Mitchell Robinson in his case, when he comes back, he is going to be on a minutes restriction. So he can't carry an offense and a defense by himself. He can't be your only lone center. You're going to need somebody else. Wouldn't it be so amazing right now to have access to a player like Moses Brown? Oh, wait, we can't because we let him go to Dallas. Now, maybe Dallas doesn't re-sign him, and then he comes back to the Westchester Knicks. And if that happens, the Knicks cannot waste any time. They must sign Moses Brown to this team. But if that doesn't happen because Dallas understands what they have in Moses Brown and they sign him to another 10-day contract, then the Knicks are going to have to look elsewhere. They're going to have to look all around the league to try to address this situation. In my opinion, if you're looking at the free agents available on the buyout market, since we need more size right now, before I didn't consider it. I didn't want this player. But now, because we need more size, maybe they look at Christian Wood. Maybe they add him to this team. I'm not saying he's the best player. He's the player that we should add right now because he's the greatest player on earth. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm looking at the roster. I'm looking at an issue, and I'm thinking what's the best player available right now at the lowest cost that can help us get there. The Knicks can sign a player like Wood tomorrow, or they can sign Moses Brown tomorrow. Again, if he becomes available, if he's not re-signed. They can also sign TJ, Chuma Okeke, all of these players. But given the current situation, the fact that we just lost Hukporti, lost our size, we're going to need to address that situation. Do we really need another wing on this team, or do we need another center on this team? That's going to come down to Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose, and this Knicks front office. Whatever they think we need, they're going to add that player to this roster. In my opinion, the best player to add right now is a player we have no access to, and that's Moses Brown. That means the next best step, in my opinion, would be Christian Wood. If you don't want to go after him, then potentially you forget size, you maybe go more small ball, and you add either a player like TJ or Chuma to this team. But either way, if you think Mitchell Robinson is the plan for this team moving forward, especially at center, especially considering that when he comes back, he's going to be on a minutes restriction, you have lost your mind. He cannot be your lone plan at center. The Knicks are going to have to address this situation in another way. I wish there was an easy solution, but there isn't. But Mitchell Robinson cannot be your only plan. Not only is he returning from injury, but like I said, minutes restriction. And what happens if Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't come back as fast as all of us would like him to come back? What if he misses a few games due to that left knee injury? Are you telling me that the Knicks are going to trust a center rotation of Mitchell Robinson and Preston Achiuwa? Is that what you're trying to sell me? Because honestly, that makes me even more concerned. The Knicks must address this situation as soon as possible, either via the buyout market or going to the Westchester Knicks roster. Or maybe they want to wait and see what happens with Moses Brown. Either way, they have to do something else because Mitchell Robinson by himself is not a plan. If anything, it sounds like a desperate hope and a plea. It sounds like wishful thinking. And as of right now, with the current roster that we have and our goals trying to get to the NBA Finals, we cannot rely on hope. We have to create our own luck. And the way to do that is by adding the right players to this team, players that we need. Maybe before we were going to add a wing, but now after losing Hukporti, We need to add a center. So the Knicks need to pivot and address this situation immediately. Because if they wait, players that they want are going to be off the board because other teams are going to add that player to their roster. The Knicks need to act quickly and address this situation. They cannot wait. They shouldn't wait because the longer they wait, the less moves they can make. I know Leon Rose is looking at the buyout market and our Westchester Knicks and maybe other moves that we're not even thinking about in order to address this situation because we need to make a move that helps us become a better team now and moving forward. Mitchell Robinson is not the plan. He cannot be the answer. Is he going to help? Is he going to make the team better? Absolutely. But he is not the solution. He can't be the only solution. The Knicks need to do something else. And I can't wait to see what that move is going to be. But what about you guys? What do you think about this devastating injury update that we have about Ariel Hukporti, who again has torn his meniscus in his left knee and is expected to miss the next 4 to 6 weeks? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.